Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stampin' Up with Jaimie. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. Tonight I have a Christmas card. It's kind of a little different than what I would normally do on my Wednesday night live tutorials, but I was kind of strategic about picking this card in particular because it uses this fun designer series paper here. This is the Dashing Deer designer series paper from Stampin' Up. It's only available for the month of September for parties over $250. So you have to earn the paper, which is kind of fun. Hi, Karen and Karen. How's everyone tonight? If you're catching this video on YouTube, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Feel free to look around. If you have any questions, let me know. Hi, Diana. I spoke to you yesterday from North Carolina. Let's see, I'm just waiting for my computer to cooperate here so I can see all your comments a little easier. There we go. Perfect. Awesome. Is everyone having a good night tonight? I sure hope so. My kids didn't have any school today, so I had a couple of their friends over and, we had a good day. It was a good day. They went to the playground. It was cool enough that they could be running around like maniacs without, sweating their brains out. So it was a good day. Very, very good. Okay. There we go. So like I said, this is the card I have for you tonight. It's a little different from what I would normally do on a Wednesday night tutorial. Normally on a Wednesday night, I like to, switch things up a little bit, make cards a little more challenging, maybe teach you a technique or something. Oh, it was light rain in Arizona? Oh, finally. Yeah, I'm sure. Well welcomed, right? But I picked this card in particular, or at least I picked the paper in the card because this designer series paper here is only available for the month of September. It's one that you earn for free when you have a party or you place your own order of $250 or more. And it's a really fun Christmas paper. Let me show it to you. I got it right here. It's called Dashing Deer. And it's kind of formal looking, which again isn't necessarily my style per se, but I definitely appreciate it. You have like this garden green with these big gigantic stars. These here have the cherry cobbler in them. Hi, Avanel or Avanel. Okay, one day you're going to have to write down like the phonetic pronunciation of your name so I can make sure I'm saying it correctly. Hi, Linda. How are you? Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. So this is the one side of the paper. It comes with 4 sheets of each. So 4 12 by 12 sheets. And then if you flip it over, it's got kind of this, I love this. It's like a writing, like a newspaper almost. I'm not exactly sure of what. I'm not exactly sure what. I don't think it has anything to do with Christmas, but it's garden green. And then you have like this striped green with the cherry cobbler and then this kind of floral with almost like ivy looking leaves. Again, this is only offered in the month of September and you can't even buy it. You earn it for free with a purchase or a party order or workshop order of $250 or more. So I wanted to share it tonight. It's a little different than what I normally do. Normally I don't go too formal with my cards, but this I thought was kind of fun. I think these deer and this kind of newspaper print keep it not quite too formal for the card. So let's dive in and I'll walk you through it. I have a landscape, right? That's what that's called, landscape. Oh my goodness, I scored it wrong. Did I score that wrong or did I cut it wrong? Nope, I scored it wrong. I scored it out, it was 4 1/8. Hold on, let me cut another one. Oops. I guess I should have folded it over ahead of time and I completely forgot. Hold on, give me a second. Hold on. It's so funny. You know what's funny? How like we just have like these senses. I went ahead and scored it and I was like, that feels weird. I should have double checked my score when I did it because it just like felt off to me. Oh well. There we go. Thank you for being patient. This is cherry cobbler. It's our, let's see here. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Again, cherry cobbler, which is a very rich red for Christmas. More of a formal look. It's used a lot, like if you're making like a country feeling card, so to speak. Hi, Michelle. Good evening. So that's our card base. Next, I used the stitched, it's always a tongue twister, Stitched Shapes Framelit dies, which I have here. I use these so much. These, I can't even tell you, these were like one of the best purchases I've ever made. If you're looking to have just like a basic square or a circle or an oval and you want it to look just a little bit have a little bit of detail in it, this is definitely what you want to do. It comes, I think it's like 3 of each. Look how well loved those are. Let's see here. No, 4 ovals. 4 of each. 4 ovals, 4 squares, and 4 circles, which ovals, circles, and squares. And it just gives the nicest little ring around. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but there is like a stitch that goes all the way around the circle there. So I have that. This is measuring, it looks like it's about the 3-inch circle. So that's one of our DSP's patterns that we're using. And then I have this more formal one looking. This is 2.5 by 5.5. And of course I have to mat it because, you know, I'm Jaimie and it's just what I do. And it's going on a 1/8 larger or wider Whisper White panel here. The Whisper White is measuring at 2 5/8. And I have that running the full length of the card, so it's 5.5. Hi Jean, good evening. How are you tonight? Oh, thanks. I so appreciate it. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate it. Feeling the love. I adhered this kind of towards the bottom. Actually, you know what? Well, I already put the adhesive on it. Okay. What I should have done if I had thought about it, and as I would suggest you doing, not like I just did, I embossed the words right onto the DSP. I probably should have done that before I adhered it down, just in case I make an oops. I don't have to go ripping it off the card. I can just replace it easily. Oh, you got it in the mail. You love. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I don't know when I popped that in. It took me a little while to get it out to you, so I apologize for the wait. Oh, here, let me walk you through. So I'm going to heat emboss, and I'm going to use the embossing buddy first. It's like this little cushion, and it's got like almost like a chalk in it. And what you do is you just rub that over your DSP, or well, whatever, your paper that you're going to use. You're just going to rub it over because it gets rid of all the static. If I don't do that, I run the risk of when I sprinkle it with the white embossing powder, that the powder goes like everywhere and gets all, you know, like sprinkled. Oh, that's okay, Michelle. I thought there's 2 Karens watching, or at least there were 2 Karens. So I thought you were just saying hi to them. No big deal. I'll answer to it. Oh, cornstarch, really? I didn't realize that. It's like some kind of white powder. I'm using, let's see here, the sentiment from the Dashing Deer. So the paper and this stamp set, the dashing, what's it called? Oh my gosh, the name just went out of my head. Hold on. The Dashing Along, there you go. The Dashing Along paper that I showed you is kind of meant to coordinate with the Dashing Deer stamp set and bundle. It's not exclusive. It's not like you can only use them together, but I figured since Stampin' Up! Kind of thought they like meshed well together, I might as well go use it. And if you look at the pattern on this deer here, you're going to notice that it does match the pattern on my paper here. So it does definitely coordinate, although you don't have to just use one with the other as always. I know, Linda, I love embossing. It's my favorite thing to do. I'm using this sentiment here, happiest Christmas wishes, although there's some other great ones. These bigger ones here are great for the inside of your card. Remembering you this season with warm thoughts and a wish for everything merry. That's a great sentiment for the inside of the card. So I'm using, I'm going to ink that up in our Versamark ink. I use the Versamark just because it stays wetter longer. So it buys you time to go ahead and put this embossing powder on it. If you are super quick, you could go ahead and use just the regular inks, but you would have to move really fast before it dries. Hey Kim, good evening. Good evening, Barbara. How is everyone tonight? You love this stamp set? I do too. Yep. Super fun. So I'm just sprinkling that and hoping I stamp that straight because I already adhered it down. I think that's pretty straight, except the C doesn't really have a lot of powder on it. Go ahead and sprinkle it generously because you can always kind of tap it off any of the excess. But it's, you know, it's better to have too much than too little, because you want a nice, bright, vibrant white. Okay, so I'm going to take our heat tool. Right now it's kind of a powder. I could kind of brush that off if I wanted to, but I wanted to stay nice and bright. Hi, Amy. Good evening. It's straight. Yay, it's straight, Linda. I was nervous. No pressure. Okay, so I'm just going to heat that up. It doesn't take too much. And as I said before, I think I say this every time, don't overheat because you will burn the paper. Especially with vellum. Whoo, did that once with vellum. And you want to give it just a little bit of time before you touch it, because it stays wet just for an ever so slight amount of time. Oh, good evening, Lisa. That's okay. Good evening. And what I should have done, and this is why I say heat emboss first before adhering. You probably can't tell, but the paper did warp a little bit. And so what I would have done, I don't know if I can get it off, but really what I should have done is put adhesive all along that top to make it stay flat. Because it did lift and it did warp. There we go. Okay, that looks better. Ta-da! Okay, what am I doing? What's next? Where's my card? Here's my card. Okay, there's our example. What should we do next? Let's adhere this guy down. This is kind of the script, like newspaper looking one. Oh, I know what I was going to say. See? A trick to get it to stamp straight. Okay, sometimes with the clear mount, it can be tricky. It's like, you know, if you move it ever so slightly one way, it goes all kilter, right? So for the heck of it, I'm just gonna do it on my grid paper here so you can see. What I usually almost do before if I'm going like directly onto a paper and I need it to be absolutely straight, like it's not like I can kind of trim it down later, I always do a tester on my grid paper. I did it in Versamark, but in order for you to see it, I'm just going to do it in our gorgeous grape. So what I do is I ink it up, and I'm going to take this top line here, that top line, where I guess the edge of the stamp, the rubber stamp, and I'm going to line it up on our grid paper. This way I know if the stamp set is truly straight on. Not me, but the stamp set itself. You know what I mean? Like the cutout words, if they're really straight, I line up either the top or the bottom. I line it up to my grid paper and I stamp down. Now, like this stamped perfectly straight, so I know that when I go onto the paper that I'm going to stamp on, I can just make sure it's straight in my own eyes and boom, down. However, sometimes the words are a little not straight even to the edge of my stamp. And so I kind of test it to get a feel for how much I need to compensate for that. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but sometimes it can be hard with the clear mount to, you know, ensure that you're getting a straight stamp. And you don't really, like this, I had no room for error, right? Like one time it's going down, I have to hit it just right. So I don't know. Try that. I hope it makes sense. In that case, it was perfectly straight, so I just had to line up the top of my rubber stamp to the top of the DSP. I knew if I had them both kind of parallel to one another that I was going to get a straight edge. Whew, I hope that makes sense. It does make sense. Okay, good. Whew. I'm like, sometimes it's like I know what to do and it's how I do it, but how do I explain it? It's kind of, I get tongue-tied sometimes. Okay, so my DSP went down. Next, I cut a circle using the Layering Circles Framelits. This is our garden green cardstock. And this is, let's see here, it's about 2 1/4. That one. Oh, good. I'm making complete sense. Whew. I'm like, in my head, it makes a lot of sense. Okay. So the Dashing Deer does have matching framelits. Yay! No fussy cutting. It matches the Detailed Deer Thinlits dies. And let me open that up so you can get a little peek. So cute. Ah, you hear the angels singing. Great details. This deer here is so cute. I cut out, oops, as I'm about to rip him. Hold on. I cut out a gold version of him the other day because I have a card in mind that I want to do. Just so pretty. His antlers are just gorgeous. Isn't that fun? That's the gold. Tonight we're using these little corner edges here, and I'm also using the outlines of the deer, smaller deer. So I could have stamped the deer and then cut them out. that's perfectly fine. But I just wanted the outline. I didn't want any stamped. I just wanted the outline. So I cut these. I used the more detailed deer and then the deer that's has his head down. I cut them out in white. And they are here. Ah, they're stuck. I know, it's a great bundle, Amy. Love it. And I'm going to adhere them over my garden green. And I'm kind of like offsetting them a little bit. As you can see, this guy's a little lower. I find that kind of appealing to the eye to kind of offset it, not have them perfectly even. I'm no artist. I don't know the reason behind it. I just think I like the way it looks. So we're going with it. Okay, so I just adhered them onto that garden green circle. And I'm taking gold, I almost say gold silver thread. That makes no sense. Gold thread comes, you can get, let's see here, you can get gold, you can get silver, copper, and right now like a rose thread. And this is really nice. I love using this, especially at Christmas time when you're adding little elements of like metallic elements to your card. It's not like an in-your-face, how do I want to put it? In-your-face ribbon. It's not like, whoa, there's a ribbon there. It just kind of is this nice little soft detail. You can't even really see it, but it's there. You can see it a little bit up here and down here. Just a little bit. And how I do that is, here's the thing. They never come out twice the same way. Like, you're never going to get the same exact look. It's a very artistic look that you kind of have to let the thread kind of do what it wants to do. And you just kind of play with it. This is going to be hard for you to see because you can't even see the thread in the video, can you? It's here. It's in my hands. It's very thin. So I just put some adhesive. I kind of want the thread in the top and the bottom. So I just put that down. And then I do like little figure eights. So like one on the top. And then whoops, don't do that. And then I wind it on the bottom, the other edge of the figure eight. And then I just do it again on the top. Again, I gotta cut this thread. It's hard to work with when it's still on the spool. They're never gonna come out the same way twice, and just kind of let it twist how it wants to twist. Don't fight it. See, that one just twisted crazily. Like that. And then I'm gonna come up here and do another figure eight. Like, you know, something like that. I know it's like nearly impossible for you guys to see, but it's there. It's just a very subtle touch. And I'm going to take my Stampin' Dimensionals and use them to glue Mr. Deer down. Nice hint for gold thread. I love you. There's certain things that are kind of like your go-to, you know what I mean? For me, I could use the silver and gold and copper thread on pretty much all my cards. It's just kind of my go-to. I love the way it looks. It adds such like just a simple hint there. Hey, Dad or Mom, I don't know which one's on. It adds such a nice little touch. Oh, I already took that one off. This one needs to come off. Stampin' Dimensionals, they're just like stickers. You stick them on, then you peel them off. And the deer here, I'm going to nuzzle him like right underneath the sentiment, a little offset from that previous DSP that we glued down. Let's see here. I want him over farther, but then it blocks the sentiment. That one, I wonder if I can undo that twist. Nope, he's on there for good. That one is kind of covering the sentiment, but I'm not sure. Oh, it's my mom. Hi, Mom. I'm not sure if it completely matters. Hi, Sharon. Good evening. Oh, you love the new rose thread? Oh, thanks, Linda. You know, Karen, I had actually completely forgotten about it, and I was putting away all my new ribbon that I got from the holiday catalog, and I came across it. I had totally forgotten about it. Poor thread is not getting any use, any loving. Okay, we're just going to go there. That one loop is kind of in the Christmas sentiment, but it's very subtle. You can still see it. I don't think it really matters. Next, I cut out two kind of, what do we want to call these? Like frames? They kind of frame in the card. Hey, Christy. Oh, you're finally watching. Yay. Hey, Christy, did you get your product share yet? I'm wondering about, it should take about 2 to 3 days. It went out Monday. Today's Wednesday. You might have gotten it already. Oh, thanks, Karen. So I'm just using liquid glue. You could use like the super fine tip glue, but this works if you just put like a ever so slight dab of glue. It doesn't take a whole lot. And I have one in one corner and one in the other corner. Oh, hi, Karen. Good to see you too. Let's see here. So I want this guy kind of hanging this way. He's going to go in one corner and press him down like so. These guys are great. I originally thought of maybe like putting them really like, I don't know, down here, really framing in the deer. But then I decided to move them farther out. Oh, you got it today. Yay! Oh, good, Sharon. I'm so happy. Were you pleased, I hope? Although if you're not, I don't know if I want you to say it on live. Oh, thanks, Linda. If you're not happy with the product shares, I don't know if I necessarily want you to say it to everyone. Ooh, that made me laugh. Okay, this is our last guy here. These are really cute. You could kind of put them all together to make like a square. There's great ideas in the actual holiday catalog. When in doubt, like if you get a new stamp or a new whatever, embossing folder could be anything, and you're like, I just don't know what to do with this thing. It happens to me all the time. Go into the catalog itself and see how Stampin' Up! Used it. If nothing else, it just gives you great ideas to see what they did with it, right? I'm sure the shares are awesome. Yay! Oh, good. Good. Okay, so that's the end of our card. That was super easy. Like I said, this isn't normally what I would do on a Wednesday night, but I really just wanted to show off this beautiful DSP. Again, this is the Dashing Along Designer Series paper that's available for the month of September on any order of $250 or more, or a workshop order, a party order of $250 or more. It's a great set for Christmas, and you get it for free, which is a nice little bonus. So if you have any questions about any of the product I use, please by all means let me know. I can always be reached via email at stampinjaimie@gmail.com. And if not, I will see you next week at the same time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday night. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Oh, and if you've been watching and you haven't left a comment yet, please do so of any sort, because as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to put all your names in a hat and draw one for someone to earn tonight's card, which I leave blank in the inside so you can mail it to someone that you know. So have a great evening, everyone, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.